Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where we explore the creative uses of AI. And hey, what's more creative than telling a story? Probably some things, but for the purposes of today, we're going to say that there's nothing more creative than telling the story that's inside you. And of course, AI gives us all sorts of ways to do that. And here on the channel, I talk about how we can mishmash all kinds of tools together to use this tool to create a character, this tool maybe to create a background, this tool to animate it, this tool to lip sync it. It's fun for me, but you know, it might seem daunting for some people. So wouldn't it be great if there was just one place you could go so that you could tell your story from beginning to end with consistent characters and lip sync and your own custom voice? If only there was a way. Wait, I just thought of something. ArtFlow. ArtFlow.ai. Now look, I know there's a lot of talk around all the new video technology that's coming out, and like Sora, for example, and people are wondering, boy, what I could do if I get my hands on that. Well, that's a pretty big if, isn't it? We don't know too much about how the general public is going to gain access to that incredible tool, and we don't know what kind of hardware is going to be required or when it's really going to be even practical to think about for the common end user. Maybe the studios will have, I don't know. What are you looking at me for? Oh, it's an AI channel. Sorry, it's just, that's not, I don't know. I don't know that one piece of information. But if you want to tell a story or pitch a concept or maybe make a video for one of the social media channels where you're maybe pitching a product and you're just need a series of slides and maybe some animation, this is a tool for you. So let's take a look at it, shall we? Now, I know this is a long video, but there is a lot to cover here. First of all, ArtFlow has a lot of features, and they deserve the time I'm going to give them, I think, because you want to see them in action and learn how they work. And also, in a real-world situation, what other tools might you integrate with this to get the final result? So here's what you see when you go on over to ArtFlow.ai. ArtFlow is not brand new or anything like that, but I just recently got full access to the premium version, which speeds things up a little bit, and that's good for me. And it allows us to do some things that you can't quite do with the free version, although you can definitely give the platform a try without spending any money. So it's broken up into basically four main sections: the character builder, the image studio, the video studio, and the story studio. And it talks right over here about how to basically approach using the site. Number one, you're going to create a consistent character, and you can watch a little tutorial on that, but you're going to watch me do it. Then step two, you create scenes and places and worlds. So basically, where are you going to put this character for this story you're going to tell? And then finally, you're going to create the video. You'll add some animation, some camera movement, and of course, the lip sync for whatever dialogue you write. Doesn't that sound fun? All here in one tool. So why don't we just get started by creating a character? Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. They have, as you will see, many actors, they call them public actors, that we can use for our story if we don't want to create an actor of our own. For example, training our own face or someone we know and love to be a character in the story, which is exactly what we're going to do. But first, let's show you what you can do without having to do that. All right, so we've got all these characters here that you can use. Now, this is just for the face. Then, of course, you can put them in whatever kind of outfit you want. So here's full actors that you can choose. And we can load more and see. So there's various scenarios. And you'll see that with all of this, of course, because it's AI, there's prompts. You can use text prompts to even vary things even more, but this helps you get started very easily. And then they've got a couple of examples here. Let's just look at this preview.
Ever felt like you could be someone else for a day? With ArtFlow's Actor Builder, now I can be anyone.
Okay, so you get the idea there, and then we'll check out this one.
Ever felt like you could be someone else for a day? With ArtFlow's Actor Builder, now I can be anyone, anywhere, bound by neither realm nor rule. I am the whisper of the wind and the roar of the flame.
Okay, I think you see where this is going. Let's do it. Okay, we're in Character Builder. So the first thing I'm going to do, because they allow you to do it, is to create your own AI actor, which means in theory I can put anyone I want, including myself, into the story. But in this case, I'm going to make it more interesting and put my partner Tracy in here because she's a good sport. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's okay with her if I do this. So here's what we do. So to get started, click on Create Your AI Actor, and you're going to start with some settings. This is a female that I'm going to choose. She is an adult, and her name is Tracy. And now it wants up to 20 pictures. And check this out, because I build models all the time. Here are some pictures I just happen to already have of her in various clothing, various positions, various lighting, the whole thing. So I'm just going to drag all of these over here. There happen to be 18 of them here, but that'll work. It's uploading them, and then we're going to click Start Training. Might take 1 to 2 hours or longer to process. Now, nobody asked, but just as an FYI, if I was to train a model like this on my own computer, given the spec that I have, which is basically driven by an NVIDIA RTX 3090, it would take about 20 minutes for my machine to train this model in a really good way with a base model that I know produces really good results. I don't really know what the base model this is training on top of. My suspicion is it's probably Stable Diffusion 1.5, the base model of that. So I've had kind of iffy results with using Tracy specifically with that base model, but you'll at least understand how the process is supposed to work. So let's just take a break. So let's just wait for this to finish, and then we'll come back and we'll complete the process. Now, while we continue to wait for our custom character to be built, we can go ahead and start creating the locations where this story is going to be told. Now's the time for me to think of a story real quick so I can come up with some locations. How about an 80s arcade? Great, let's go to the image creator. Oh, look, I'm already here. You get there by clicking Image Studio and then click on Create New Image. If you've used any kind of text-to-image program before, this will all be pretty familiar. With image type, there's a couple of things you need to know because a lot of this is sort of driven by the characters you're creating and what they're doing. If you click this and hover over, it gives you an idea. So if you use portrait mode, you're going to use that if you want to have an avatar, a person, a consistent character telling this story like he's doing here. Maybe you're going to hover over each image and he's going to narrate. In general, it's going to, if you choose general, that picture of the person is going to be incorporated into that background, and it will be able to detect it for the most part and animate it that way, adding lip movement. So it's just a little bit different approach. In this case, we're talking about creating really not even anything with characters if we can get away with it. We just want to create the scenario. Let's just choose an 80s arcade. And in this case, we will not choose any character or anybody like that. Select a style. Again, we can go down here and add style, and we may as well just keep it at cinematic. I like that style, and we'll click Generate V2. And again, we're going to get 4 different versions to choose from, or we can use this as 4 different angles to choose from when we start to construct our video. Okay, so these are great. Let's satisfy your curiosity and just click on Animate, see what happens. It takes us into the ArtFlow studio where we will be back in the video creator, which is where we're going to end up anyway. So we won't worry about that now because that's our final destination. You can also click on More and see that you can share the image. You can make a variant of it, create video with this image, which is basically, I think, what we just pretty much did. It does the same thing. And then you can download a copy of the image without the ArtFlow watermark on it if you are a premium member. All right, so now we've got the 80s arcade. This will be perfect if we want a circle with the character doing a narration like we saw before in the corner. But if we want the character to be in the scene and talking, then we need to create some images of the character in there. And we can't do that yet because we don't have the character created. So let's go ahead and create like an exterior shot of this that we can use. Exterior of an 80s arcade in the rain. Okay, keep all this the same, keep it cinematic and click Generate. Okay, awesome. These are great. Okay, eventually we're going to want to put the character in this scene, not in a circle, but actually integrated into the scene. So we have to wait until she's done with that. Let's do one more scene of like, I want a car here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I don't have to do anything with this right now. We've just got now some variety of a scene. And I think once we get the character done, I'm going to do one of her sitting in the car if I can. I'm going to try anyway. We can check the status over here with the character builder, and it still says due to extremely large traffic, blah, blah, blah. Let's take this opportunity to pet a cat. If you've got a cat around you, now would be a good time to grab it against its will, no matter how much it wants to get away and do anything other than this. Okay, the model is ready, and I have to say I am super impressed. So now that we've got her, we've got some images to make for a part of our story, and if we mouse over here, you'll see it'll say create image with this actor, or we can just now go down to the image studio. And look at that, they've created images and I didn't even ask them to. Now these are a little off, but it's still perfect for a character. She doesn't look exactly like this, but it's still a good source of an original character who anyone who knows her would know that this is supposed to be her if we put her in a story situation. Nice pictures, nice images, but now let's get, what I'd really like to do is get her now as part of this story that we've created. Scroll back up here and create new image. And over here now we've got general, and we want to do a couple of things. We want to create an image that we can use for her talking head. So I'm going to choose portrait, and let's just see what we can do. I want her to be outside that video arcade, but I can't really use that image necessarily. I'm just going to say, and before I type the prompt, I can actually put her in the prompt by choosing actor and choosing Tracy. And that'll just put @Tracy in there, and I can put that wherever I want to in the prompt. But in this case, I'll do it just fine. Now, I'm not real sure what's going to happen here since it's the talking head, but I'm going to say Tracy in front of an 80s arcade in the rain, to kind of maybe go with that other one we did. The cinematic style should be fine, but we can choose from any of these. But I will go ahead and choose cinematic for this and click generate, see what we get. Now, I have to say that part of the allure of the premium package was promises of increased speeds, and it may be faster than the free version, but of all the services that I've used online, this is still one of the ones that takes the longest to generate the images that we want, but so be it. Okay, now we've got some nice close-up talking heads, which I guess we'll be able to use in the images that we want to. We can play with that. Now let's do some where she is actually the full character standing maybe in the 80s arcade. So Tracy in an 80s arcade wearing a raincoat, and we'll keep it a cinematic to keep it consistent, and we'll click generate. Oh wait, before we do that, let's make sure we do want 3x2. They don't have 16:9, but we don't want a square, and we don't want portrait. We want 3x2 because this is part of the more cinematic part of the video. Let's generate. I love these images. Now, what if we wanted her in a different position or a different spot? I love these, and I may use them in the thing, but what if we want them differently? Well, here are the images, and they were created, and it automatically takes us to the make variant section. If we wanted to change any aspect of this, we could by changing maybe what she was wearing, or maybe she's not in an arcade. Right now, I'm going to leave it how it is. I want to go back and generate another image and say, well, what if we want to place her in a different position? You can do that. Facing a different angle, you can do that. So we're going to go back over here, and I want her to be outside. Now, how about sitting in a car in a rainstorm outside of an 80s video arcade? Now, this could be tricky because I'm putting her in a car. This may not work very well. Okay. Now, to be able to place her where we want, we use the director mode. So we'll turn that on, and now you can see that this represents the character, and we can place the character anywhere we want. We also have the option of full shot and anything in between. We can actually go from full shot all the way to extreme close-up. So if we wanted her, again, since she's going to be in a car, I'm not sure. I'm going to hedge my bet to make sure this will work. I'm going to put a mid shot because maybe then they will put her in the car. But we also have some other options too. Let's keep her there, but I want to do something else too. I'm going to take out Tracy here. Now we have some other options. Here we can either choose another actor, any of these actors to put in the scene, or character. Now that we've got some source images and a character, let's go over to Video Studio and create a new video. Okay, as this is loading up, it's going to bring in the images, anything that we've created, and these are sort of our assets, right? At the top, you can create a maximum of 20 shots or scene. Let's just scroll down and choose, let's get back into our assets here. Let's use this as an exterior establishing shot. And then up here I can choose character, and now this is where I'm going to choose one of these talking heads. We'll choose this one here, and I can resize it and place it where I want. So we have choices here. We can type what we'd like her to say and then choose a voice. It was a rainy night in Baltimore. Can't even remember why I was there. Okay, so here are your voice choices, and you've got, as I scroll down here, a lot.
Hi there. If you like what you hear, you can use my voice to create animated stories on...
Oh my God, okay, Tracy's voice is so not that, so I have to use this. So let's just preview this.
It was a rainy night in Baltimore. I can't even remember why I was there.
Oh my God, I love that. That is so obnoxious. Now you'll notice that the lips do not move here, as it says somewhere, that the lips will move when they're good and ready. No, the lips will move when you export the video. That's when it will actually do the animation. So the other option you have besides doing that is you can upload a pre-recorded audio file of maybe Tracy's real voice. Now, Tracy's not here at the moment, but you know what I do have? I got 11 labs and text-to-speech and, of course, a Tracy model. So I could say it was a rainy night in Baltimore. I don't even know what I was doing there. Click generate.
It was a rainy night in Baltimore. I don't even know what I was doing there.
Great. You can download that. Go back to ArtFlow, choose on uploads. Oh, I can drag and drop. Even better. So I'm going to drag and I'm going to drop. And there it goes. So this is the file I want. And then we move on to the next scene. Now it tends to want to add to and give me that little thing. So now I'm back on this shot. I now need to go back to my library. And let's go inside here and we'll do a different technique for making her talk. But with this type of image, it's going to use a different technique to make her talk, which is, of course, to detect the face. And then you can enter the dialogue like we did before, or upload like we did before. What should we do? We're going to say, when I walked into the arcade, I suddenly started talking funny. Like I was from the deep South. It was weird, awkward, and very off-putting. Let's preview that. Oh, that's not A. Hold on, no, we got to. Oh no, what was her name? Hold on, we got to go
walked
back.
into the
I can't
arcade,
remember.
I suddenly
who
started
that
talking
was.
funny, like I was from the deep South. It was weird, awkward, and very off-putting.
Yeah. That's not what I want. Oh no. Who was she? Doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Okay, do I have to scroll and hope that it shows up as obviously selected? Oh man, I don't remember who she was. Well, I mean, that's on me, but come on, it should show me who I used. Don't you think? Or am I just trying to find an excuse to blame somebody for not paying better attention? What was her name? It doesn't tell you. It's got to start telling you. Come on, you guys. How am I ever going to know?
What you hear, you can use my voice to...
Okay, fine. I can't find the one. Bell. I'm going to use this one. It's a different Deep South voice. Listen.
When I walked into the arcade, I suddenly started talking funny, like I was from the deep South. It was weird, awkward, and V-E-R-Y off-putting.
V-E-R-Y off-putting. No. Very off-putting. Okay, I like that. We're going to use that, but now I got to go back and fix my mistake and put the original Tracy voice back on this slide by choosing it, going to uploads, saying use this audio. So now let's go to the third slide and figure out what we're going to do with this story. Maybe we need another character in there to talk to her. Let's see. Create a new scene image. Because I think I want now to have a guy in there to have her talk to. So I'm going to create a new scene image. It's going to go over to here to Image Studio for sure. I'm going to say inside an 80s arcade. I'm going to do director mode. I'm going to put this character here and choose Bionic Solomon. Sure, man. All right. I don't know if I have control over where he's looking right here. Right down here underneath everything. If we click here, now we have the ability to change the direction of the character. Now I think that's going to make a little bit more sense, and I'll have her talking right here. So let's just go ahead and generate. Okay, so we've got two results here. This one stayed more true to where we put him in the director mode, and this was just kind of in the center. These are now in our assets, so let's go ahead and go back to the video studio. Okay, go to my drafts, and I guess it's going to be the last one here. Okay, so we'll go over here to this scene. We'll drop this in here, see if it detects it as a face. It does, which means we can make him talk. So let's say, Excuse me, I couldn't help overhearing you say that you think you talk funny. I just wanted to confirm that you do. Okay. Now I don't know if I can add this character on top, like both at the same time. For example, if I click character here, can I click her too? And this says click here to, oh, okay, so I can choose which one of these is going to talk. Excuse me, but I couldn't help overhearing that you thought you had a funny voice. I'm gonna stop there. Let's choose a voice for him. Well, look, we've got all these languages that we can choose from, but I'm gonna stick with English because, you know, I understand it.
Hi there. If you like what you hear, you can use my voice.
I love that voice. Okay, let's listen to this.
Excuse me, but I couldn't help overhearing that you thought you had a funny voice.
Hopefully it will be able to lock in on those lips and animate that. That'd be pretty cool. Let's do 2 more scenes. All right, so we're gonna go back here, and then I'm gonna add her talking. I'm just gonna stick her right here in the middle. And I think I'm going to go back to 11 Labs and use her real voice for this. And this time I'll do speech to speech, which means I won't type anything. I'm just going to record right into here, and then we'll convert it. So speech to speech, and I'm gonna say, I've been coming to this diner for I don't even know how long, and this is the first time anyone's ever talked to me. For years, I thought I was invisible. Okay, and then I'm gonna click generate.
I've been coming to this diner for I don't even know how long, and this is the first time anyone's ever talked to me. For years, I thought I was invisible.
Okay, so download that. Come back over to ArtFlow, go to Uploads, gotta click on Dialogue, and then drag that over, drop it on in. We'll listen to it, just make sure.
I've been coming to this diner for...
Yep, okay, use this audio. Now that's that. Now, how am I gonna just wrap this up? Well, we need that guy back. I need him as another shot. I wonder if I can access him from here. So let's go back to my library. Oh, I guess I could use this picture. Yeah, let's do that. It's already done. It'll detect it. Oh, no face detected. Face is too small. Oh, look, you can zoom in. Well, what if I do that? Now will it detect it? Come on. Dialogue? No, no. It doesn't seem to be like refreshing its detection. It wasn't my original plan to do this anyway, so I was going, let's just go back to the original plan. We'll scroll down. We need to be inside the arcade. Where do I have the inside of the arcade with no... Okay. We'll use this, and then we will hope, after all this time, that we can choose him as a character from down here somewhere. Starter pack. I think maybe I need to go create a new portrait image so that I can use this. So I'm going to do that, create portrait image. It's set for portrait. I'm going to say consistent face, choose actor, and see if maybe, I don't remember his name. Oh, character. Let's see, character, of course. Bionic Solomon. How could I forget that? Okay, so I just want Bionic Solomon in an 80s arcade. That's it. Cinematic, generate. We don't need to choose this there. All right, so now we've got him. Let's go back to Video Studio. Back to drafts, get back into Untitled, which I guess we need to title somewhere along the line. The arcade. All right, now we go back over here, we go to character, and now I should have him right here. Yes, we do. I had been coming to this arcade for years, thinking I was anthropomorphic loaf of bread. I just don't know what to think. Now I have to find this guy again. There needs to be a search. Like, I gotta be able to search for the guy's name. All right, I'm gonna have to work with this here. I've been coming to this arcade thinking I was an anthropomorphic loaf of bread with this little girl's voice. Okay, so now I'm just gonna find filter, young, female, show results.
Hi there.
Not young enough.
Hi there. If you like what you hear, you can use my voice to create animated stories on ArtFlow.
Good, that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's see.
I had been coming to this arcade for years.
Okay, that's cool. Now, let's see, we're going to end this thing right now, and I want to use this picture because it's just cool. So what's she going to say here to wrap this story up? Anyway, that's why I don't go to the arcade much anymore. It's just a silly way to spend my time. And I think, what was it? Belle. All right, let's see if we can find Belle. Again, there's no freaking... Oh! No. You can only search the language. Boy, my hopes were up there for a second. Okay, Belle, how do I find you? You're not in alphabetical order either.
Hi there! If you like what you hear, you can use my voice to create animated stories on ArtFlow.
Oh, hell yes, I'm using that. Why wouldn't I use that?
That's why I don't go to the arcade much anymore. It's just a silly way to spend my time.
That's an interesting way to chop up that sentence, but okay, we're going to just end it right there. We're going to export and animate. It's going to cost us 45 credits, and hopefully all the mouths move at the end of it. Got a last minute opportunity to change the title. The arcade I dream about on Thursdays. Export video. Well, I imagine this will take a little bit of time, so let's just put on our patience cap. While we're doing that, if you've been seeing this screen and you see Barbie and you see what I really want and you're going, what the hell did he do? Let me just exonerate myself and play this for you.
Hey everyone, guess what my name is?
Now, first of all, I want you to notice that the mouth didn't move. It did detect a face when I loaded this in, but if you watch very closely, it moves right here for some reason. Now, this is the only place it does it, but...
Hey everyone, guess what my name is? If you guessed Frank, well then you're way off. I guess, at the end of the day, what I really want is for you to get out of my house with that camera. You're creeping me out.
Okay, so see, it was harmless. And if I was going to use this video, I'd have to edit out the spaces in between, and there's lots of stuff I would do to it, but it is still source video that we can use. Okay, it took a little bit of time, and I did a transcription issue, and there's a couple of little glitches here. So here's the video.
It was a rainy night in Baltimore. I don't even know what I was doing there.
When I walked into the arcade, I suddenly started talking funny, like I was from the deep south. It was weird, awkward, and very off-putting.
Forgot to change that.
Excuse me, but I couldn't help overhearing that you thought you had a funny voice.
I've been coming to this diner for I don't even know how long, and this is the first time anyone's ever talked to me. For years, I thought I was invisible.
So we got to tighten up those gaps.
I had been coming to this arcade for years, thinking I was an anthropomorphic loaf of bread with this little girl's voice. Now, I just don't know what to think.
Anyway, that's why I don't go to the arcade much anymore. It's just a silly way to spend my time.
All right, let me throw some sound effects and music on this and see what we can do with it.
It was a rainy night in Baltimore. I don't even know what I was doing there.
When I walked into the arcade, I suddenly started talking funny, like I was from the deep south.
Excuse me, but I couldn't help overhearing that you thought you had a funny voice.
I've been coming to this diner for I don't even know how long, and this is the first time anyone's ever talked to me. For years, I thought I was invisible.
I had been coming to this arcade for years, thinking I was an anthropomorphic loaf of bread with this little girl's voice. Now, I just don't know what to think.
Anyway, that's why I don't go to the arcade much anymore. It's just a silly way to spend my time.
Okay, let's look at the Story Studio and figure out what that's all about. How is it different than the Video Studio? When we click on Story Studio, we will click on News. Well, before we get started, let's look at some of the sample stories so you get an idea of what this is all about.
In the weightless embrace of space, Captain Croc, the intrepid crocodile astronaut, finds himself yearning for something more. Every movement, every adjustment of his webbed feet demonstrates Captain Croc's mastery of navigating the endless cosmic sea.
Saint-Rémy, known for its charm and love for the arts, buzzes with anticipation for the upcoming Parisian musical competition. Jacques, the village's resident inventor, unearths a hidden musical manuscript promising to revolutionize the musical world.
Okay, so this is clearly more about telling stories with static images and voiceover than having characters interact with each other. So this would be perfectly suited for telling a children's story or any kind of narration. Or one way I see something like this used is on a lot of social media to promote a product or talk about something where they don't want to use their face or show themselves, and they use images like this and voiceover like this. Let's see how it works. We're going to click on New Story. Help me get a story. All right, so if you have no story whatsoever, you can use AI to create the story, or if you have a story that you've already got figured out in your head, you can use that. But let's let this program help us here. Hi, I'm FlowScribe. I'm here to help you write amazing stories. Tell me what story you'd like to create together, and I'll propose a plot here. So first question, who is your story for? People interested in AI. What's the goal by creating the story? People to think that Bob Doyle is the only one worth listening to on the subject. Got it. What genre did the story be? Crime. Any quick ideas about what the story's about? Tells the story of a small island village who believes that AI is the answer to everything, and they have learned that Bob Doyle is the king of AI. However, they later learned that they were totally wrong and wasted a ton of time and resources. Okay, well, let's do it. Generate story outline. All right, let's see what it's come up with. Your personal story outline is, okay, Bob Doyle, story character. That makes sense. Charismatic and persuasive, Bob Doyle presents himself as the ultimate authority on AI. Newcomer. Intelligent and determined, the newcomer challenges Bob Doyle's authority with their superior knowledge in AI. All right, I'm going to rename newcomer Little Miss Smarty Pants. And then the villagers, naive and trusting. The villagers idolize Bob Doyle and believe in his infallibility when it comes to AI. We're going to call them the truth knowers. Okay. Let's see. Story outline, small island village. Residents are convinced Bob Doyle. One day, newcomer arrives at the island, challenges Bob Doyle. Well, I don't know about that. Fearful of losing their faith in Bob Doyle, the villagers dismiss the newcomer's claims and ostracize them. Bob Doyle feels threatened. The newcomer organizes a public demonstration. Bob Doyle, desperate to regain his status, realizes they've been deceived. The villagers turn against Bob Doyle and embrace the newcomer as the true expert in AI. As the island villagers rebuild their faith, they learn the valuable lesson of questioning authority and not blindly following one person's advice. Awesome, let's create this story. Vertical or horizontal? Well, this is YouTube, so we're going to go horizontal. All right, now we get to choose the visual style. Ooh, this is exciting. So digital art, realistic, cartoon. Everybody does this 3D cartoon. Sci-fi, classic, horror. Let's do horror, okay? Because, I mean, I know we all want to see the Pixar. Not all of us. No, otherwise I wouldn't be questioning this. All right, here we go. Horror. Horror it is. I hope we don't regret this choice. Oh, realistic was recommended. So it's going, oh, great. He didn't follow my instructions. I want it to be fantastical. Come on. I guess it takes a little bit of time. I'm waiting for the thing to finish. I'm waiting. There's nothing rhymes with finish. Blemish? Finish? Anyone? No. Okay, forget that. I'm waiting for this thing to be done, and then we will have a lot more fun. We'll watch it, we'll edit it, we'll make it really shine, and when it is all done, I'll call it mine. Okay, continue to character creator. Didn't really tell us what it was doing, but I'm just assuming it was going, they're talking amongst themselves. He chose horror. We recommended realistic. What? And then he's probably going to go, I don't like that. And we're going to say, well, we recommended realistic. You know how AI can be these days. Now it's making me wait again. Anticipation. Oh, here we go. Bob Doyle. Oh, now we get to see what everybody's going to look like. Oh, this is exciting, right? The dopamine is just like flooding in my system right now. What will they say? I can change the character appearance. This, oh, well, okay, let's see. This is horror. The Truth Knowers. Ooh, they look okay. Okay, I think I like the Truth Knowers. What happens if I click on the Truth Knower? I'm going to wait for Little Miss Smarty Pants to appear. I wonder if it's going to pick up. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, can we look at it? No, clicking doesn't do anything. I don't want to change anything. I mean, he looks nice and creepy, really. Because later I could do a face swap. I don't know if we say change character appearance, yeah, it doesn't let me choose like a model that I've created or anything like that, but I can describe him here. All right, I'll change it just to demonstrate it. So a middle-aged male, Caucasian, middle-aged, okay, he did it twice, in a sharp suit. So instead of a sharp suit, we're gonna go in dirty overalls, see what it does. And of course, the real test here is, how consistent will this character stay throughout this story? I really can't wait to see how this all plays out. We're waiting some more, we're waiting. Oh, generate character image. Oh, totally. Confirm character image. Okay, charismatic and persuasive. All right, continue to storyboard. Ooh, it's getting exciting now. Okay, the shot narration. A tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. So wait, is that what's going to be said? I think I'm going to do some editing here because we're going to take all this time and render it and stuff. If the narrative sucks, there's no reason to do it. All right. And I think for the most part, I'm going to stick with the images and not redo all of them, even though I'm guessing we'll have that ability. Let's see if we click ahead. Loyalty tested. The community stood at a crossroads. I'm trying to think of like what kind of voiceover I want to use already, and so I'm trying to think. I'm hoping to get like, I don't know. I'm feeling something like this, but I'm going to use the generated versions and not my own. I don't even know if I can upload my own voiceover here. Okay, what's the name of this freaking village? I'm going to just pull something from my past. Villa Nueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. A disruptor in the midst of blind faith. Wait a minute. Okay, we really need to flesh this out. This is Little, I need to capitalize, Little Miss Smarty Pants. A disruptor in the midst of blind faith. She shook the foundations. And in the midst of blind faith in a egocentric leader, Bob Doyle. I may need to change this. She shook the foundations of their beliefs, of the residents. Look, I'm trying to do this quick, okay? But I can't, The villagers' unquestioning loyalty in Bob wavered as doubts crept in, okay? Loyalty tested. The community stood at a crossroads. Look at those faces. Oh, God. Stood at a crossroads. Clearly, they chose doing that over showering or changing clothes. All right. Now, hang on. That's not Little Miss Smarty Pants, though. Oh, we got choices. Okay, but that's still not her. Okay. And others came forth to speak their truths against the Doylean creed. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Oh, deception exposed. The once mighty. I'm going to put this in parentheses. Oh, don't do that. Oh, I don't like I don't like pop-ups when they're not invited. King of AI, the once mighty, and I'll say self-proclaimed, King of AI, stood revealed in his inadequacy. Heck, his laptop didn't even have a logo. Minds, once closed, now open. Embracing the light of newfound knowledge, the villagers appeared happier than ever before. I'm just cracking myself up over here. All thanks to that. Know it all, beacon of change, Little Miss Smarty Pants, who led them into the uncharted waters of progress. where they all eventually drowned, except these three. The end. Okay, there you go. Oh wait, I should look at some of these pictures. No, I like it with these three. Let's go back and see. I had a better choice here. Uncharted Waters of Progress. Nah, she's the one who's gonna do it. I like that. Just making sure. Yeah, nah. These are good. All right, export. It's gonna cost me 28 little things of that. Here we go. Export. Now I imagine this is gonna take a hot minute too. So we'll be back after these messages. Once I started letting the story render, I realized there was never a section for me to change the voice. That's not something you get to do here, but to test that, I went back in to start from scratch and just do a test little story, and I realized I forgot a feature here. Once we get to the storyboard area, and you can go through here and change the story, what I was doing. If you click this icon right here, that makes that go away or not. That's where you can edit the narration. But here you can actually change the image. So if you don't think he's scowling enough, or you want to change his shirt, you could do that here, along with the background, a bustling suburban street with cars parked, which really isn't reflected here. But hey man, sometimes that's just AI art, but you get the idea. But just so you know that you can change these images if you'd like to, in addition to choosing what they've had here. So now our story is rendered, so let's check it out.
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. This is Little Miss Smarty Pants, a disruptor in the midst of blind faith in an egocentric leader, Bob Doyle. She shook the foundations of the beliefs of the residents. The villagers' unquestioning loyalty in Bob wavered as doubts crept in. Loyalty tested, the community stood at a crossroads. Clearly, they choose doing that over showering or changing clothes. In a dance of algorithms and innovation, the truth was laid bare and others came forth to speak their truths against the Doylean creed. Deception exposed, the once mighty self-proclaimed king of AI stood revealed in his inadequacy. Heck, his laptop didn't even have a logo. Minds once closed, now open, embracing the light of newfound knowledge. The villagers appeared happier than ever before. All thanks to that know-it-all beacon of change, Little Miss Smarty Pants, who led them into the uncharted waters of progress, where they all eventually drowned except these three. The end.
Okay, well that was fun, wasn't it? It even threw some music in there. I was going to do that later. Pop quiz, if you want to change the voiceover, what can you do? All right, time's up. So we're going to download this video. I don't need the captions on it. And then I'm going to go over to 11 Labs. You knew it was coming, right? Go to the speech-to-speech function, and I'm going to literally just take that file and I'm going to drop it right there. Make sure it's there.
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme.
And it is, and now let's change the voice to... How about the not Liam voice? It's not going to have the accent, but let's just see what it comes up with.
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. This is Little Miss Smarty Pants, a disruptor in the midst of blind faith in an egocentric leader, Bob Doyle. She shook the foundations of the beliefs of the residents.
I'm going to download that. I'm going to go over to CapCut. You can, of course, use any video editor you like, because all we're doing is replacing the audio. I'd probably actually do this on my phone if it was a real-life situation, but I'm just going to drag and drop both the audio and the video. This is, of course, the video that we created in ArtFlow and the audio that we created in 11 Labs. So it looks like it lined them up for us already. We just now need to mute the audio on that one track and watch it. Oh, wait, I don't want this aspect ratio. I want a 16:9. There we go. And now let's listen.
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. This is Little Miss Smarty Pants.
Now I'm also realizing we didn't do captions here, so if we want captions, we can actually do it here in CapCut. Just go over here to Captions and say Auto Captions, generate US English in this case. Give it a little bit of time, and
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust.
Choose a style that's a little bit more interesting, and then choose presets, and I think the one I like, something like this, where it highlights the words. And then let's Watch it again.
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. This is Little Miss Smarty Pants, a disruptor in the midst of blind faith in an ecocentric leader, Bob Doyle. She shook the foundations.
You can add captions in whatever captioning program you like to create a finished product. There's so much more I could do to this.
Villanueva was a tranquil village where tradition and trust reigned supreme. This is Little Miss Smarty Pants, a disruptor in the midst of blind faith in an ecocentric leader, Bob Doyle. She shook the foundations of the beliefs of the residents. The villagers' unquestioning loyalty in Bob wavered as doubts crept in. Loyalty tested, the community stood at a crossroads. Clearly they choose doing that over showering or changing clothes. In a dance of algorithms and innovation, the truth was laid bare and others came forth to speak their truths against the Doylean creed. Deception exposed, the once mighty self-proclaimed king of AI stood revealed in his inadequacy. Heck, his laptop didn't even have a logo. Minds once closed now open. Embracing the light of newfound knowledge, the villagers appeared happier than ever before. All thanks to that know-it-all beacon of change, Little Miss Smarty Pants, who led them into the uncharted waters of progress. Were they all eventually drowned except these three? The end.
Ooh, okay, well that was a lot of stuff there, but I hope it was helpful or entertaining or interesting. I mean, if you're listening to this, something kept you here. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, why not do so right now? As far as I know, it still doesn't cost you any money and it won't hurt a bit. It's just a simple click of a mouse. And then of course you'll know when I send out more videos similar to this one.
If you subscribe now, I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you do not, I will look for you. I will find you. And I